There is a kind of intelligence that doesn't raise its voice. It doesn't argue. It doesn't fight. It simply sees through people. Friedrich Nietzsche believed that the most powerful form of intelligence is not loud, not emotional, not even logical. It is psychological vision, the ability to understand people so deeply that you can outmaneuver them without saying a single word. Not manipulation, not deceit, but insight. Because when you see the truth of human motives, everyone else becomes predictable. Today, you'll learn Nietzsche's methods to outsmart anyone silently, through story, through philosophy, through the mind of one of the sharpest thinkers in history. Nietzsche once wrote, "The most intelligent people are the ones who observe, not the ones who speak." Let me tell you a story that captures this perfectly. In a small mountain village, there lived a man named Elias. He was not wealthy. He was not loud. He did not command attention in conversations. Most people forgot he was in the room. But Elias had a gift. When conflicts erupted, he always knew who was lying. When the mayor made decisions, Elias always knew the real motive behind them. When business owners fought, he could predict almost perfectly who would win, who would fold, and who would self-destruct. People whispered that he had special senses. He didn't. He simply mastered the exact skill. Nietzsche called the art of reading souls the power of silent perception. Nietzsche believed that behind every action lies one thing: will, the will to power, to be specific, the force that drives all humans to feel significant, secure, or superior. Not in an evil way, but in a deeply human way. Nietzsche said, "He who understands the why behind people controls the how of their behavior." To outsmart someone without speaking, you must see what they want before they even know you're looking. Here's what Nietzsche taught: the insecure want reassurance. They brag. They demand attention. They They act strong. The ambitious want opportunities. Watch their eyes. They widen when advantage appears. The manipulative want weakness. They test boundaries subtly. The honest want clarity. They speak directly and briefly. When you see someone's want, you see their entire behavior in advance. Elias, the quiet villager, noticed these patterns. He listened when others talked. He watched when others performed. He analyzed when others reacted. And because he knew what everyone wanted, he always stayed 3 steps ahead. Nietzsche wrote, "A person's true nature is revealed at the edge of their strength." You learn more about someone by watching where they break than by watching where they shine. Most people monitor confidence. Nietzsche watched weakness points. Look carefully. Some break under pressure. They speak faster. Their breath changes. They lose rhythm. Some break under silence. They fill the quiet with excuses, stories, explanations. Some break under failure. Their mask slips. The insecurity underneath appears. Some break under authority. They shrink. Their voice softens. To outsmart someone silently, you never push them. You simply observe where their mind collapses, and suddenly you know exactly how they operate. You know their patterns, their weaknesses, their blind spots, and you say nothing. Silence is not the absence of words. Silence is the presence of power. Nietzsche believed that silence changes the balance in any interaction. Here's why. Silence makes other people reveal themselves. Humans hate empty space. They rush to fill it. In doing so, they expose their intentions, fears, and plans. Silence triggers insecurity. If you don't react, they start doubting their own actions. Doubt makes people predictable. Silence forces them to negotiate with themselves. Instead of arguing with you, They argue with their own thoughts. Silence creates mystery, and mystery creates psychological weight. People fear what they cannot read, Nietzsche wrote. The one who is silent is believed to think more deeply. Even if you're not analyzing, your silence makes them assume you are. That assumption is enough to tilt the power in your favor. Always. Everyone wears a mask. Everyone, Nietzsche called this the social costume. People hide themselves behind politeness, confidence, humor, authority, or intelligence. But the mask is not the real person. To outsmart someone, you must see the cracks in the mask. Watch for micro-expressions, tiny facial movements, when they hear something uncomfortable. Voice drops when their confidence slips for 1 second. Forced laugh signals of discomfort or hidden motive. Overreaction, a sure sign of insecurity. The quick glance when they check how others view them. The cracks always reveal the truth. Once you see the truth, you know exactly what they fear, what they desire, what they avoid, and what controls them. And once you know that, you control the situation without saying a single word. Nietzsche said, "The need to explain oneself is the despair of strength. Strong people act. Weak people explain. When you explain, you hand away your authority. You show your insecurity. You invite judgment. To outsmart someone silently. Act. Do not justify. Do not defend. Do not seek approval. Here's why it works. People fear what is not transparent. If they cannot read your motives, they approach cautiously. Your confidence becomes a weapon. Silence plus certainty is one of the highest forms of dominance. You control the information, and information is power. Elias, the quiet villager, never explained his predictions, never described his thinking. People respected him because they couldn't decode him. Nietzsche believed, he who conquers others is strong. He who conquers himself is stronger. The person who understands their own fears, desires, biases, and impulses is almost impossible to manipulate, because no one can use what you already know about yourself. Self-awareness is the ultimate armor. To sharpen this, Nietzsche recommended, observe the moments that trigger emotion, anger, jealousy, fear, envy. These show your internal weaknesses. Ask, why did I react? Not what happened, but why did this affect me? Become a watcher of your own mind. Step outside yourself. Analyze yourself the way you analyze others. When you master yourself, no one can outplay you. Not through silence, not through words, not through manipulation. You become the calm center in every chaos. Years later, people asked Elias how he always seemed to know. He smiled softly and said, I simply looked, while everyone else talked. Nietzsche would have nodded in agreement, because true intelligence is not loud, it's not abrasive, it's not dramatic. It is awareness, the ability to see what others don't see, the ability to think what others don't think, and the courage to stay silent while everyone else exposes themselves. If you want to outsmart anyone without saying a word, stop speaking, start watching, observe motives, see the masks, study weaknesses, practice silence, understand yourself. In a world full of noise, the quietest mind wins. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more.